Hello and welcome to another Nikootalk podcast. In this podcast, we will be focusing on the listening section of IELTS, TOEFL, and any other similar tests. We are going to discuss two of the common problems, two of the common complaints we get from test takers related to the listening section. Let's start with the first one. You see, we hear a lot of test takers complain about getting confused when looking for the answer to a particular question because they miss the information in the listening that answers that question. Let's say they have just finished answering question number 3 and now they're headed to question number 4. But it seems that they can never find where this question is answered. They cannot find the part in the listening that supports the right answer and gives them the right answer. Let's see how this happens. You know, I would say that a wrong approach that many test takers adopt or choose is that at the beginning of the listening section, right before the listening starts, where you normally get 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds to read all the questions, the test takers really make a lot of effort to memorize all the questions and memorize all the options, keep that information in mind so that as they're listening to the information, they can find the right answer. Okay. Why is this wrong? Because you are putting so much pressure on your brain to keep a lot of information ready and available when you need it. You don't have to do this. You don't have to read all the questions and all the options. What I mean is it's okay to read them, but don't force yourself to keep them in mind because you can't. You will forget some of the information. You will forget some of the details. So here is what I suggest you do. Listen. Let's imagine the listening has just started and you're going to answer the first question. Okay. First of all, you only need to focus on one question. Imagine that the whole listening section is going to test your understanding of this one question and to see whether you can answer only this one question. So, as the listening starts, it takes at least 15 seconds. I repeat, at least 15 seconds for the speaker or the speakers to get to the part where they answer question number 1. So as the speakers start talking, don't get confused. You don't have to focus 100% on what they're saying. You start reading the first question as you're listening to them and keep your eyes on the options or the sentence that you have to complete or whatever form the question has. And you can be sure that after you have finished the sentence, the question, the options, you still have some time before you hear the answer. Now you're totally ready. You have read the question and you have only focused on one question and you haven't filled your brain with useless information. What is useless information here? Questions 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and the rest of them. So you're focused on question number 1, and as soon as you hear a word, a phrase, anything that's related to question number 1, you can easily spot it, you can easily notice it, and then you understand, okay, here's the part where question number 1 is going to be answered. And because all of your attention on just one question and its options, you can easily get the answer, you can easily find the answer. But be careful here. All of the options that are available as possible answers to a question will be referred to in the listening. In other words, the speaker or the speakers will directly or indirectly refer to all of the options, both the one that is right and the one or ones that are wrong. So what you need to do here is to be able to distinguish which of the options has fully been referred to, has clearly been mentioned as the right answer. As soon as you get the answer to the first question, don't be in a rush. You don't need to be in a hurry to move to the next question. Take your time, be relaxed, because again, it's the story at the 15 seconds. There's going to be at least 15 seconds. I repeat, at least 15 seconds. It could be 20 seconds or even 30 seconds. There's going to be at least 15 seconds between the answer to question number 1 and the answer to question number 2 in the recording. So you have enough time to calmly and in a relaxed manner write down your answer to question number 2. To question number 1, then go to question number 2, and in a relaxed manner read question number 2 and the options, and you will still have some seconds before the answer is referred to. You know, you don't need to be in a rush, because the answers are not going to be like one after another, like a bombardment, and in just 30 seconds all of the 10 questions are going to be answered. No. Don't forget, this is the secret, at least 15 seconds between the answers to each 2 questions. So this is enough time for you to write down the answer to the previous question, then focus on the next question, read the options, and in your own comfort, wait for the answer to the second question. And then you go on to number 3 and number 4, fully relaxed. Now, let's go to the second problem. The second problem is a little bit simpler. Sometimes test takers stay too long on a particular question, so long that they not only miss the answer to that question, but also the next ones. Here is what happens. You see, you have already answered questions number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now you're ready to listen and find out what the answer to question number 5 is. 10 seconds pass, and you have already read the question and the options, and you're ready. 20 seconds pass, and you don't hear the answer. 30 seconds pass, and you haven't gotten the answer yet either. 40 seconds, 45 seconds, 50 seconds, and here you realize that, oh my God, I've lost the answer to question number 5, and I'm not sure whether number 6 has been answered or not. And now you don't know whether to focus on 5, 6, or move on to 7. So in this rush, in this confusion, you may really miss the opportunity and lose the chance to find the answer to more than one question. So what you should do, what you should always remember is that if you feel that a long time has already passed and you haven't heard the answer to a particular question, the bad news is that you have probably, almost certainly, missed that one question. So if it's 40 seconds, 45 seconds, and you still haven't gotten the answer to question number 5, you can be quite sure that, well, too bad, you've missed that one for whatever reasons. Maybe the question was so difficult, or maybe you were distracted for some time. So here's what you should do. Forget about number 5. Don't let your focus on question number 5 become too long and therefore take away your opportunity to answer the next questions. Forget about number 5. If it's 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and you still haven't gotten the answer, move to the next question, because most probably number 5 is gone. So don't miss number 6. Focus on number 6 and say goodbye to number 5. Of course, at the end of the test, you always have the chance to come back and just answer all of the questions you have left unanswered by, taking a guess, or simply preferring one option to the other one, or just writing a word down. But right when you're listening to the people talking and you're focused on the task, forget about a question if such a long time has passed and you haven't gotten the answer. Okay, make sure in your next listening test you practice these techniques and focus on them and do it again and again and again so that you get the hang of it. Make sure you listen to our next podcasts. Don't miss them. Take care, everybody, and I'll be seeing you or actually talking to you in our next Nikootalk podcast.